Welcome to another episode of Deep Dive into Real Estate by Team Luddy Dillon. This is the place where we simplify real estate for you, one topic at a time. Enjoy.
All right, so have you ever thought about what happens when you retire?
Oh, yeah.
Like what happens to your house once the kids have all moved out and you're ready for like the next chapter? But then you realize you're kind of stuck in this big old house that just doesn't really fit your needs anymore.
Right. It's a pretty common thing.
And that's exactly what we're going to dive deep into today. Downsizing.
That's right.
But it's not just about getting a smaller place, right?
No, not at all. It's so much more than just like trading a big house for a smaller one. It's really about finding a space that truly fits your life.
I like that.
Your needs as you move into this new phase.
Your needs and wants, right? I was kind of hoping to keep my king-size bed even if I downsized.
Well, maybe we can work that in. But seriously, though, it's about aligning your home with your lifestyle, your needs, and even your dreams for this next phase of life. And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, so there's more to this than meets the eye. I'm intrigued. And, we always like to bring in the experts. So for this deep dive, we're tapping into the knowledge of Lanny Dillon's real estate team. They're specialists in the Peel region.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
That's Brampton, Caledon, Mississauga. And they've been helping people navigate these kinds of real estate decisions for years. They really understand that buying, selling, or investing in real estate is a big deal, and they want to help people make informed choices.
For sure. Making those big decisions can be tough.
And lucky for us, they've shared some of their insights for this episode. So consider this your backstage pass to the world of downsizing Peel region style.
Exactly.
And hey, if you're out there thinking about making a move, you can always visit Laddie and his team at www.searchhouse.ca.
Yep, good resource.
Okay, let's get back to this whole idea of downsizing being about more than just the size of your house. What else should people be thinking about?
One of the things that people often don't realize is the emotional aspect of downsizing. It's not just about like decluttering and packing boxes. It's about letting go of a place that holds so many memories, maybe even a sense of who you are.
I can see how that could be tough, like saying goodbye to a chapter of your life.
It really is. But there's actually research out there that shows decluttering can be good for your mental well-being.
Really?
It can reduce stress and create a sense of calm and order.
That makes sense.
Which can be super valuable as we get older.
So it's like trading clutter for clarity. I like that.
Exactly.
But let's be real for a second. Before we reach that Zen-like decluttered state, there's the whole process of actually selling your current home.
Right.
How do you even begin with that?
It can feel overwhelming, that's for sure. One of the most important things to do right away is to get a realistic idea of what your home is worth.
Okay, yeah. Our sources were really big on that.
And for good reason. It's like setting the foundation for everything else.
It is, yeah.
That's where having a good real estate agent can really make a difference. They can look at what's happening in the market, compare your property to other houses that have sold recently, and give you an accurate idea of what you can expect to get for your home.
And I bet Laddie's team has seen it all when it comes to the Peel region market.
Oh, definitely. They know all the different neighborhoods, what buyers are looking for, and they really know how to price homes in a way that makes sense.
Smart.
One thing Laddie really emphasizes is understanding the senior market.
Oh, what's that? Like a special senior discount on houses?
I wish. No, it's about realizing that seniors often have different needs when it comes to buying a house.
Okay, like what kind of needs?
Well, for example, they might be looking for a place that's all on one level, no stairs.
Yeah.
Maybe they want wider doorways, for accessibility, or they might want to be close to things like healthcare or activities.
Makes sense.
So it's like a whole different way of looking at the market.
It's like a niche market within the whole real estate world.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to work with an agent who gets it.
I see.
They can help you market your home to the right people.
Makes total sense. You wouldn't want to miss out on potential buyers just because you weren't speaking their language. Okay, so you've got your market evaluation, you found a great agent. What's next? Is it time to start packing?
Hold on. Before you start packing up all your memories,
Right.
there's one crucial step that can really help you sell your home for the best price. Staging.
Ah, yes. Staging. Making your house look like something out of a magazine. Our sources had a lot to say about this.
And for good reason. It's all about showing off your home's best features.
Yeah,
making it feel welcoming and appealing to as many buyers as possible.
I get it.
And a big part of staging is decluttering. But I can imagine that can be tough, especially for people who have lived in their homes for a long time.
It's got to be hard to let go of things, especially if they hold sentimental value.
Absolutely. It can be a real emotional process. But it's important to remember that you're not just getting rid of stuff, you're creating space for a new chapter in your life.
It's like clearing out the old to make way for the new.
Exactly. And think about it this way. By decluttering and staging your home, you're actually making it easier for people to imagine themselves living there.
That's true.
They can walk in and say, wow, I can see myself living here. And that's what you want.
That's when the offers start coming in.
You got it.
So we talked about saying goodbye and getting your house ready to sell. But what about when it actually sells? Now it's time to find your new place. Our sources mention smaller houses, condos, even senior living communities. It's a lot. Where do you even start?
Yeah, I mean, it can be a lot to process, right? But it really comes down to figuring out what's most important to you. Like, what are your must-haves versus just nice-to-haves? What kind of lifestyle are you looking for? More privacy or a close-knit community feel?
So it's about more than just square footage again, like matching the place to how you want to live.
Exactly. Think about your day-to-day life and what would make it easier. And more enjoyable, too. Do you want to be close to family or healthcare, maybe cultural stuff? Are you a big gardener who needs space? Or would you rather skip the yard work for a condo with a pool?
Those are some good points. I bet Laddie Tillen's team helps their clients figure all this out.
Oh, absolutely. They're all about matching people with the right properties. In fact, they often tell people to think about accessibility, even if it's not an issue right now.
That's smart. Things can change quickly, and it's better to be prepared.
Yeah.
What kind of accessibility are we talking about, though?
Well, it could be a bunch of things. Living on one level, so no stairs, wider doorways and hallways, grab bars in the bathroom, maybe a walk-in shower, stuff like that can really make a difference in terms of safety, especially as we get older.
I see. It's like planning for the future. I like that. And speaking of the future, what about the money side of downsizing? This is a big financial change for people, right?
For sure, it is. And that's why it's so important to think about it beforehand and have a good plan in place. One of the good things about downsizing is that you might actually end up with more money.
Really? How does that work?
Well, when you sell your bigger house, you'll probably have some extra cash from that. Equity, it's called. And you can use that for all sorts of things, your retirement, travel, hobbies, whatever you want.
So it's not just about saving money. It's about new opportunities opening up. I like that. But I'm guessing there's a lot of paperwork and legal stuff involved in all this, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a legal side to it. But that's why it's good to have people who know what they're doing to help you, like a good real estate agent, a lawyer, maybe even a financial advisor.
Sounds like building a team of experts. But even with all the practical stuff, our sources talked a lot about the emotions involved in downsizing. Selling the family home, that can be a tough decision.
It really can be, especially if you've lived there a long time and raised your family. All those memories are tied to the house.
I bet Laddie's team has seen a lot of tears over the years as people say goodbye to their homes.
I'm sure they have. But they also know that with the right support, downsizing can be a positive thing. One tip they often share is to get your family involved in the process.
That makes sense. It's not just your decision. It affects everyone. Plus, having extra help to pack never hurts. What about when it comes to deciding what to keep and what to get rid of? Especially those things that have sentimental value.
Yeah, those are the hard ones. Our sources suggested taking pictures of things before you let them go, so you still have the memory, even without the physical item.
Oh, I like that. A digital memory box. And for those really special items, maybe they could be passed down to your kids or grandkids, or even turned into something new.
Exactly. Like using old fabrics to make a quilt, or turning photos into artwork, or even a scrapbook with old mementos and stories.
Those are great ideas. It's a way to honor the past while simplifying your life. You know, it's funny, I bet those kinds of projects could be a really nice way to connect with your family during this whole process.
Absolutely. It becomes a family thing, sharing stories and making new memories while sorting through the old ones. Downsizing becomes less about what you're losing and more about change and connection.
Speaking of changes, we talked about choosing where to live next. Houses, condos, senior communities. Could you go into a little more detail about each of those? What are the pros and cons?
Of course. It really depends on what you're looking for. A smaller house can give you more privacy and freedom, but you might still have some yard work and upkeep. Condos are usually pretty low maintenance, and they often have nice amenities like a pool or a gym.
So condos might be good for people who want to simplify and have more time for their hobbies or to socialize.
Exactly. Then there are senior living communities. They offer a wider range of services like help with cooking and cleaning, transportation, even healthcare if you need it.
So those are good options for people who need a bit more help with daily life, or maybe they're looking to meet new people.
Exactly. Senior communities aren't what they used to be. Many of them are like resorts now, with fancy amenities, events, even classes.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
I bet Laddie Dillon's team knows a lot about the different senior living options in the Peel region.
Oh, for sure. They stay up to date on all the latest developments and can give you advice based on your situation and what you can afford.
So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with all the choices, talking to Laddie's team might be a good idea.
Definitely. They can help you make sense of it all.
And that's what it's all about, making choices that fit your goals for this new chapter in your life.
Exactly. And remember, downsizing doesn't have to be scary. With the right people helping you and a positive attitude, it can be a really good thing.
So if you're thinking about simplifying, maybe getting some extra cash and having a new adventure, maybe downsizing is the right move for you.
And if you're in the Peel region, Brampton, Caledon, Mississauga, Laddie Dillon, and his team can help you every step of the way.
You can find them online at www.searchhouse.ca to see what they offer and learn more about your options. Okay, now let's get to some of the questions our listeners might have about downsizing. Our sources had a whole section on this. I'm sure people are curious to hear what they had to say.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get to those questions. One that kept coming up was, how do I even start decluttering? Like, where do you even begin when you've got so much stuff?
Oh, I know that feeling. It's easy to get overwhelmed. Our sources recommend breaking it down into smaller pieces.
So don't try to declutter the whole house at once. Maybe just focus on like one drawer or one shelf.
Exactly. Make it manageable. Another good tip is to start with the easy stuff, like go through your clothes and get rid of anything you don't wear anymore.
Yeah, we all have those clothes we're holding on to for no reason. But what about things that have sentimental value? Things you don't want to get rid of because they're tied to memories.
I get that. One of our sources actually suggested taking pictures of those things before you let them go. That way you keep the memory without having to keep the actual thing.
Oh, that's smart. Like a digital memory box. And for the things you really can't part with, maybe you can pass them down to family or even like repurpose them into something new.
Yeah, for sure. Turn old fabrics into a quilt or make artwork out of vintage photos. There are lots of creative ways to honor the past while still simplifying your life.
I love that. And, doing those kinds of projects with your family could be a really fun part of the downsizing process.
Absolutely. It could turn into a real bonding experience, sharing stories and making new memories while you're sorting through the old ones.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about choosing the right place to live. We touched on this before, but could you break down the different options again? Like smaller houses, condos, senior living communities.
Sure. It all comes down to what you need and what you prefer. Smaller houses can give you more privacy and independence, but they might still need some work like yard work or repairs.
Right?
Condos are usually easier to take care of, and they often have stuff like pools and gyms.
So maybe condos are good for people who want to have more free time to do the things they enjoy.
Exactly. And then there are senior living communities. Those can offer a lot more help with day-to-day things like cooking and cleaning or transportation. They even have healthcare if you need it.
So they're good for people who need a bit more support or who want to be around other people.
Exactly. And senior living communities are changing a lot. They're not like they used to be. A lot of them feel more like resorts now, with all sorts of activities and amenities.
I bet Laddie Dillon's team knows all about those different options in the Peel region, right?
Oh, yeah, they definitely do. They know what's out there and can help people figure out what's best for them.
So if you're feeling a bit lost with all the choices, they could be a good resource.
Absolutely. They can help you make a decision you feel good about.
That's what's important, making choices that fit your goals for this next part of your life.
Exactly. Downsizing doesn't have to be scary. With the right people helping you and a positive attitude, it can actually be a really positive experience.
It can be a fresh start. So if you're thinking about simplifying your life, maybe getting some extra cash and having some new adventures, maybe downsizing is something to consider.
And if you're in the Peel region, Brampton, Caledon, or Mississauga, you know Laddie Dillon and his team are ready to help.
You can find them online at www.searchhouse.ca to learn more. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into downsizing. We hope this has given you some helpful information and maybe even inspired you to think about what this next chapter could look like for you.
Thanks for listening.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We will be back with something new and something interesting.